Okay, awesome. So hi everyone, super happy to be here. It's my my first measure of music, and it's been really cool so far. So I'm Max. I'm the founder of Sonar, and at Sonar we build predictive models to detect emerging talent in music. So let me give you a little bit of background first. So before Sonar, I worked at Spotify for 5 years with labels, with industry partners, and I did a bunch of different things there, but I think one model that is really related to this experience was an artist discovery predictive model that we used internally for our editorial teams. So think of the people that build playlists that you can see here. And the idea was to predict a future leap of growth among emerging and up-and-coming artists by monitoring lots of signals on and off platform. And so it ended up being super successful. We had some good success stories like the one on the right here with Avenoir when he made it to the Times Square Billboard a couple of weeks after we picked him with the model and pushed him to the Fresh Finds team. So it was all great, but I couldn't help thinking that there was, in a way, much more that we could do with a model like that, and especially if I were to be sort of free to do whatever we want. I think there was potential. So I left to build it myself. So I mean, let's take a look first at the current artist scouting ecosystem, right? So if you take the artist point of view right now, obviously it's super competitive. Streaming itself doesn't give you meaningful revenue, so there's this real need to diversify and to touch your audience more directly. Okay, now if you're a label, if you're a distributor, if you're someone who signs artists, there's this sort of ever-growing supply of artists out there. So many tracks, so many artists coming out every day, so many data points to trends, things to monitor. We had a very interesting conversation yesterday around A&R and data. I think this really applies here. There's so much stuff out there to monitor, which means that the process is still pretty manual in a way and network based, and meaning some opportunities are missed. And then finally, you also have all the what I call music partners. So think brands, agencies, bookers, sync, all these entities that revolve around music talent, and they need to find scalable ways to identify and sign these rising artists that will have the right engagement level, the right target audience for what they're looking for. All right, so I think that's the goal of Sonar. It's to aim the bridge the gap, between these three entities in a way by creating an entirely new experience of artist discovery, right? One that's personalized to you, one that leverages data in the background, but feels like kind of a curated weekly list by your A&R or your buddy that knows what you're looking for. And so for that, we use AI to analyze lots of data points, learning from that model that I built before, across streaming, across social media, across live data, fan interactions, and we really try to predict and score which artists are about to have a leap of growth. So you can think of it as a super powerful scouting engine that identifies this talent early and connects them to the right labels, the right partnership opportunities. Now, if you're a label or a company with like a roster of artists, there's really two ways you can use the Sonar technology. One is to find opportunities externally, and the other is more internally. So externally, it's like this digital scouting goal. We have this platform that allows you to discover the best artists for any research that you have in mind, whether it's keywords, whether it's plain English, or even just a creative brief. Now, you will also have labels and distributors that have been leveraging our model for catalog opportunity scoring to really pinpoint the fastest growing artists in their roster. And for that, we have a proprietary score and growth drivers that you can see on the right here. And among the signals that we monitor on our artists, there's also a number of qualitative data points that we source directly from their social accounts. We look at audience demographics, where and who are their fans, how much they engage. We look at posts, comments, we analyze the fan sentiment, and that leads us to build a topic affinity and opportunities for endorsement and for partners, as you can see in the bottom here. Now, we think that this journey really starts with music, but will take us a lot further and potentially expand to other businesses and content verticals. The first bit is definitely music and scouting at the bottom here. We want to become that established go-to platform where all the industry traffic happens when it comes to artist discovery. And so for that, we have a SaaS business model platform with different tiers based on usage. Even potentially a customized license for bigger labels. And then from there, we think that we can leverage that position and all the first-party data that we'll have accumulated to tap into these additional entities that also need to look for emerging artists regularly. And so for that, we have brand endorsement, find the right music talent for any campaign, any creative brief, if you're a brand, also talent management. So enabling agencies and middlemen to bet on the high potential artists for their own clients. Now you might be wondering, how is Sonar different?
Hi, Max. That's time. So if you just want to wrap it up.
Okay. So our positioning is a little bit at the intersection of analytics platform, influencer marketing campaigns, and traditional agency. And in terms of results, we've been just out for a few months only. We have a newsletter with a bunch of subscribers already. We have pilot programs ongoing with labels, brands, and agencies, and we launched our beta recently. In terms of where we are, this is our roadmap. We're looking for a CTO right now to onboard. We're fundraising in a couple of months. Happy to take some conversations there if there's interest. And from there, it's all going to be about building and testing and growing the pipeline. Thank you a lot for listening. Thanks for having me. And we're Sonar, predict the future of emerging music talent.
Thanks, Max. I think we have time for one question. I think one of them was, what's your website? So it looks like it's there, sonarlabs.io. And then we have one here. Sonar Labs uses AI to help predict high growth artists. How do you balance the data-driven insights with the human instinctual elements that often play a crucial role in A&R decisions, especially when it comes to long-term artist development?
Yeah, this is an excellent question, and one that, if I recall, was asked yesterday in the panel. Short term, what we've done is we've been using curators to also review our results, and the model runs in the background, but then we have people and humans, and especially my own network at editorial at Spotify, that reviews the artists that we also find and adds that human element to it. And then to your point, I think this is a tool that supports A&R in their decision making. I think this is the same idea as what Beth from Chatmetric was saying yesterday, where we want to empower people that have the clout and the knowledge and the actual means to develop artists later to do their job faster and more efficiently.
Great. Thanks, Max. We'll leave it there. Congrats on Sonar Labs, and I'm excited to have you here today, and hope to see a lot more of you soon and of the business.
Thanks for having me.